Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Travel Plays YouTube channel. Today is Tuesday, October 1st, and we finally made it to the postseason in the MLB. I'm going to be breaking down one total play for the day. On this video, we're going to look at the matchup between the Royals and the Orioles. I have one game pick, two best player props for the entire slate on the first day of the postseason. I'm very excited for the postseason to start. Hopefully, we come out profitable at the end. I hope everybody enjoys their Tuesday, and let's break down some ball. All right, guys, here's the recap from Monday. Pretty good 3-1 start to the so-called postseason, I guess we can call it, since it was kind of postseason-like atmosphere. Mets money line against the Braves. We did take that one. Not how I thought we were going to win it. Spencer Schwellenbach's really good. And then the Mets went on that insane run after he got out, scoring 6 runs. And then the Braves went back up on top. And then Francisco Lindor in the top of the ninth hit a home run to cash that over 1.5 bases in the first game. So first game sweep. Second game, had to take the Braves minus 2.5. They were like minus 560 at one point on the money line. I think they closed like minus 3 something because Chris Sale didn't go, but took them minus 2.5. They did get the job done 3-0 in game number 2. And then Marcell Ozuna, the only one that did not cash today, a single and a walk in that last game. But we didn't get the matchup against Luis Severino, so I probably shouldn't have taken it, but I did because I gave it out. So 3-1 day there. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Postseason has started, so I'm putting up a new leaderboard, 3-1. I'm going to call the first game, I guess, doubleheader on Monday, part of the postseason because it was postseason-like atmosphere. 3-1 to start the postseason. I guess we can call it 266 and 211 in the MLB regular season. Not too bad. I think I'd rounded it up to 56%, 55.7 or something like that. So not too bad. Over 500 is always good. Let's take a look at the play for tomorrow. For the play today, we're going to be looking at one game only. I'm not going to mess with the Mets and the Braves today. I'll probably have a double breakdown tomorrow depending on what the games look like. But I couldn't take one of the Mets or the Braves. Those guys are both coming off that doubleheader on Monday. The Mets are going to be in trouble pitching. Looks like the Braves did a crazy move, decided to wait with Chris Sale to pitch him in the first game of their series tomorrow. But the official report on that was that he had back spasms and he wasn't going to pitch because they needed to win that game. And I think the Braves just did a crazy move and decided that they could beat the Mets without Chris Sale on the mound because the Mets, they were going to go with the bullpen game because they won the first game they were already in. And it turns out they were right. They did beat the Mets. I'm not entirely sure if that was the game plan, but I can't imagine Chris Sale missing an elimination game for the Braves unless it was something serious. So I'm sure maybe it was back spasms, but I wouldn't be surprised either if we saw him on the mound of the first game because back spasms, really, are you kidding me? Feels a little shaky. Something feels a little off right there, but I don't know. Braves got it done. Mets got it done. Both are in the postseason. Good for them. But I'm going to talk about the Royals and the Orioles today, and then the two player props as well are going to be some different picks in the MLB. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the Royals, though, in the postseason. It feels like every time this team gets in, they find a way to win in some wild games. This was one of the worst teams last season in baseball, and now they're in the postseason going up against the Orioles, who have also been really good over the last 2 years. One of the top 5 teams in baseball, the O's, have been over the last 2 years. I think the better team in this game is the O's, and I'm going to take them minus 1.5 in the run line. I'm just not sold on what the Royals have been giving me over the last month. They made that big run before the All-Star break, and then about a month after the All-Star break, things started to look really good for them. And then all of a sudden, downhill over the last month of baseball. They lost 9 of the last 8 games. They helped out the Mets in their last game of the regular season, catching a win. But they have not been playing good baseball over the last several weeks. The loss of Vinny P in the 2-hole has really hurt this team. And I didn't think he was that big of an asset, but it turns out that he is. It's going to be Cole Reagans also on the mound. He has been up and down all season long. And the Orioles are going to be having one of their most consistent arms in baseball on the mound over the last 5 years in Corbin Burnes. The numbers for Cole over the last 4 games of the year were really good, only giving up 3 total runs coming into the postseason with a 3.14 ERA. He has been up and down this season. Like I said, he has these games giving up 4+ runs, 3+ runs, 4+ runs again, but that's normal for a lot of starting pitching, and I really would like to back him if he wasn't going up against the Orioles because this Baltimore team on the season, they have killed left-handed pitching. They are a top 8 team in baseball in terms of batting average going up against left-handed pitching. We have also seen this bullpen for the Kansas City Royals struggle all season long. This is just a bad draw for them, having to go up against the O's on the road. I think the O's are one of the scariest teams in the postseason, especially in the AL. They are young. They're kind of fun, just like the Royals, but I think they're the way better team than the Royals. It also helps that the ace, Corbin Burnes, is going to be on the mound, who's finished the year with 6 consecutive quality starts. He's coming in with a 2.92 ERA and a 1.10 whip, giving up a total of 4 runs over the last 6 games. I said he's been one of the most consistent arms in baseball. Here's why. Over the last 5 years and since 2018, which was his first season in 2018, he had an ERA between 2.11 and 3.39 in 6 of those 7 years. Over the last 5 years, it's never dropped below or never gone above 3.39. So he's been very consistent. You're not going to find a more consistent arm in baseball than this guy. I'm going to take the O's here as the first play at home, minus 1.5 on the run line. For the best player props today, we're going to have one game between the Royals and the Orioles. The other one's going to be a pitching prop between the Tigers and the Astros. We're going to start with the batting prop. And in the Royals game, give me the kid, Bobby Witt Jr. over 1.5 bases going up against the O's. This is going to be the first playoff experience for Bobby Witt Jr. because the Royals, ever since winning that World Series back in 2015 and 16 season, or was it? Yeah, it was 15-16, wasn't it? Might have been 14-15. I think it was 15-16. Anyway, they haven't made the postseason since then. The third-year man, Bobby Witt Jr., is going to get his first taste of postseason baseball, and he's coming into this postseason after a 200-plus hit season, a 100-plus RBI season. This is going to be a matchup going up against Patrick Corbin. It's not going to be easy, but looking at the roster in this lineup, Bobby Witt Jr. is your best bet if you want somebody to have an extra base hit against Corbin Burns. I gave you the numbers for Corbin already. He's been really good over the last 6 games coming into the postseason, but Bobby Witt Jr. has been one of the best players in baseball going up against right-handed pitching this year. On the year, 336 batting average, 73 extra base hits. We're going to see cutter, curveball, slider a lot in this game out of Corbin Burns, and that's his 3 best pitches on the year. Bobby Witt Jr. has nearly a 400 batting average going up against the cutter, against the slider, 313 batting average. His slugger numbers against the sinker and changeup and curveball have been really good this season as well. As a whole, he should win the matchup going up against Corbin Burns. I just think he's going to be the only one on this team that can win that matchup going against Corbin Burns. I'm going to take the kid here, Bobby Witt, over 1.5 bases as the first batting prop of the day. And for the pitching prop, Astros going up against Tigers. I don't want to be the guy to bet against the Tigers, but I've got to. Framber Valdez, under 2.5 runs against the Tigers. One of the best stories in baseball has been this turnaround of the Tigers winning, I believe it was, 25 of the last 31 or something games to make the postseason. That is crazy. The last thing you want to do is try to put money on them to lose, but I think the streak and I think the ride's going to end with the Astros. I'm going to take Framber Valdez, and I'm going to tell you why. The Tigers this season going up against left-handed pitching have been one of the worst teams in baseball, only having a 229 batting average, which is 26th in baseball. If you take a look at the pitches we're going to see in this game, Valdez has a healthy dose of sinker, curveball, changeup. This Tiger team is going up against the sinkers, one of the worst teams in baseball against that pitch. And they're not very good against the curveball either. They do have a pretty good bats with the changeup, but he only throws that about 15% of the time. And Valdez is most likely going to give us sinker, curveball every other pitch. Top to bottom in this lineup tomorrow for the Tigers, there are multiple players in the top 5 who are batting under 220 against left-handed pitching. The Tigers also have a lot of left-handed batters. So this is going to be a tough situation for the Tigers team who's coming into this postseason extra hot. I just think everything's going to slow down going up against Valdez. Veteran guy, under 2.5 runs here for him going up against the Tigers as the play. And let's take a look at the recap graphic. Orioles, minus 1.5 in the run line, Framber Valdez. Under 2.5 runs against the Tigers. And then the kid, Bobby Witt Jr., over 1.5 bases as the play there. Guys, it's going to do it for the MLB picks and props for Tuesday, October 1st slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.